Yes. Okay, it's 5 o'clock, so we're going to start now. Okay, thank you so much for joining us wherever you joined us from. It's another session of why you may need IVF, and it's a very interesting session today because I have very big guns. Two big guns from Christendom joining us today. Remember last week we had the Islamic perspective on IVF. So today we're going to have the Christian perspective on IVF, and I'm so happy to have two women join me on this program today. Last week somebody challenged me and said, oh, why is it only men that came on the program yesterday? So I hope nobody's going to challenge me whether it's only women that are joining today. So, but I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. And like we said, it's just going to be a discussion, it's a chit chat. So today we have Rev Funke Felix Adejumo. She has, she's well known. I don't think she needs any introduction. And so she's going to be telling us she's a pastor, she's a grandmother, and she's everything that you can, she has every right to be able to talk about this topic. And also we have no less a personality, Pastor Nike Bankole. She's somebody that is also very dear to me and to the house as a whole. And she's also a big gun in Christendom, if you like, if you allow me to say that. And we're going to be having this discussion, and it's going to be a discussion. Yes, they are going to be leading us in the discussion. I'll just be pointing the direction, and then I hope you have a very lovely time today. Well, we all know that IVF started in 1978 with the birth of Louise Brown, and since then there have been so many spin-offs from IVF. But apart from this advancement as they are, they brought so many things up also. Some of these are controversial things, and that's why sometimes in order to throw light on these controversies, it's good for us to have people also who are opinion leaders in their rights. And we know that religion, especially in a country like Nigeria, it plays a very important role. And so we think also that it's very good for us to be able to have these opinion leaders tell us what they think about IVF. So maybe I'll just let Mrs. Funke Felix Adejumo just say hello, and then before we start the discussion.
Good evening, Dr. Abayomi. It's such an honor and a great privilege to be a part of this today. And I want to put it on record that you are a huge and a massive blessing. You and your team, thank you for what you do. We are grateful as a nation, as a generation. We thank God for you and your team, sir. God bless you. And good evening, everyone.
Thank you so very much, man. Thank you so very much. Mrs. Bankole, yes, you have to show your face. And so welcome to the program. Do you want to just say hello to the audience before we start the discussion?
Good evening, sir, Dr. Abayomi and Auntie Tola. Thank you very much for having me. You are a blessing to women, family, and Nigeria as a whole, and the world. We really appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. So yeah, without much ado, so we're just going to discuss. Please feel free, either Mrs. Bankole, if you have, don't wait for me to call you. If you want to say something on what we're discussing, just, yeah, feel free to jump in. There is nothing, there is no formality to this. We just want the viewers to have the benefit of what you know, because the two of you know a lot. I mean, and your life experiences to start with, your Christian experiences. And so we want to get as much as we can get from you within this designated period. So like I said, maybe Mrs. Adejumo will start. Like I said, the techniques that we have now have thrown so much up to us. What do you think? What are your opinions about IVF generally? Let's start generally and then we'll start coding down.
Okay, thank you very much again, Doctor, and your dear wife, your beautiful wife. I believe as a person, I believe that medical science is a blessing. I believe that medical science is a gift of God. In Psalm 115 and verse number 16, the Bible says the heaven and the heaven of heavens belong to God, but the earth he has given to the sons of men. When God created us, he gave us brains, and each person has between 10 and 14 billion cells in their brains. And it is not just for wearing wigs or cap or doing braids. I believe that God gave us the brains so we can work. I believe that the entire universe runs on laws. Law of gravity, law of aerodynamics, law of pull, law of weight, law of cause and effect. And God's laws, these laws that govern the universe, I believe that they are God's modus operandi. He created the heavens, he stays there, he owns it, he created the earth and gave it to human beings. Look at the majesty of the aircraft in the air. By reason of breakthroughs in technology. Look at how amazing. I believe God gave us brains so that we will not continue to disturb him, so that we can have dominion. Look at technology. The entire world is now giving ovation, standing innovation for creators and innovators. Before, when the Wright brothers were going to fly the aircraft, everybody thought they were mad. They didn't have a pilot's license. But look at what has come. The day they were going to fly the aircraft for the first time, only 4 children and 1 adult showed up. Look at the man that innovated the cordless. His father and his friends took him to a psychiatrist. So society labels what society does not understand. As a person, I believe that IVF and medical science and whatever is attached to it is a gift of God to humanity to give joy and to wipe away tears. That's my opinion, sir.
Well, thank you so very much. I think even, what you have said to me now has made the program. And that God gave us brains. And he wants us to use these brains. And I think that's awesome. And that society labels whatever it does not understand. You put it very well. Okay. Mrs. Bankole, do you want to say anything about that?
Yes, sir. IVF is a blessing to families, to women, and to the world. This part of the world, Africa, having children, I would say, is a must in court. And when IVF started, people frown at it. But now I realize that people talk about it. About 20 years ago, people don't come out to talk about IVF because they feel it's not a normal thing. But most people have realized that this thing is helping out divorce rate, because you realize that when couples get married and they don't have children, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they go their separate ways. It has helped to mend homes. It has helped to mend mental health in women and in men also. It is a blessing. IVF is a blessing. That's all I have to say.
Wow, 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 wow. Okay, that's great. It mends homes. You see, sometimes even some of us who are in the practice, we And that's what I tell people who work with me, that sometimes the person you're talking to left the house that day. Someone just called her a he. So don't expect her to be the nicest of human beings. And don't ever add to her body. That is the least that is expected from you. Yes, immense mental health. And that also cannot be put better. So wonderful. I think we've had very good opening to this discussion. So we're going to go to some fundamentals. Now, this is what I mean. We know finally that this IVF we're talking about is about putting sperm and egg together. And sometimes some people, you know, my experience sometimes that, and you see a 48-year-old sitting in front of you and she comes to you and she says, I want to use my eggs. And there is nothing you can say. And she says, I want to use my eggs. Okay, what I say to them sometimes is that, look, the likelihood that you will ever have a baby using your egg at 48 is almost tantamount to going to the mortuary to wake dead people up. Because it is not, that has not been proven, because most of the time at 48, all your eggs are like, if they are left at all, they are the, if it's in football, they are the 5th or the 6th team. You don't win a championship with your 6th team. So some people need to use either donor eggs, donor sperms, but we have a lot of issues with this. So I want your take on this. When people need help, either they're using donor eggs or donor sperm, I'm not going to differentiate between the two because actually it's 50-50. The cause of infertility is 50% in women, 50% in men. So what's your take about use of donor eggs or sperm? Yeah, I'll let it just flow. Mrs. Adejumo, oh yeah, let's start. You have not omitted. Good.
Okay. I have an orphanage. When I turned 40, 8 years ago, I started this orphanage. Over 100 children have passed through the orphanage, and we've given up children. We are licensed to give children up for adoption. I have adopted. My husband and I just adopted a set of twins 3 weeks ago. When we heard that they were going to be split, you know, they will split them and take them to different. My husband is 66. This is not the time to be raising kids, but we didn't want those kids because as a person, I believe that every one of us will have different kinds of children, maybe like 5. Number one, you have your biological children, the ones you gave birth to. Number 2, you have your natural children, the children that your biological children are married to. Number 3, you have spiritual children. I'm a Christian. I'm a minister of the gospel, so I have spiritual children. Number 4, you have adopted children. Number 5, you have destiny children. Now, there is nothing wrong with you not having your own biological children. Our society is patriarchal in nature, and it is the same men that are in church. They are the same in the mosque. They are the same policymakers. They are the same, you know, in politics. So the woman is considered to be, we may not be going into that now, but they are the ones that define what society thinks it's normal. So if you don't have a biological child, the society thinks that you can't be a parent. Says who? Says who? You can have destiny children. You can have spiritual children. You can have different kinds of children. That's my take. I once went to Kenya, Uganda, and I had to travel on a very terrible road to an orphanage. We have 50 children whose parents had died of AIDS and HIV and all that, were waiting in one orphanage. They needed parents. So if I adopt those children and they start calling me mommy, that does not make me less than a woman that carried pregnancy for 9 months. Some women don't have the health. Some had made mistakes when they were young. And God does not consult your past to determine your future. It is a society that has become judgmental because you committed adultery, you committed abortion, you cannot have. So if I committed adultery or if I committed abortion and my womb was taken out and now I am a Christian, God has forgiven me and I have what it takes to help a child that was picked in a carton. Does that mean it's better for me not to have that child so that society will not say anything? So if my eggs, this is my take, I stand to be corrected. I know it is controversial because some people say, okay, where is it in the Bible? I also want to ask them, where is it in the Bible that you should every morning wake up and have your bath? That's why God gave us brain. Where is it in the Bible that we should use Zoom? Where is it in the Bible that we should watch television? Where is it in the Bible that we should play games? We should play football. That's why God gave us brains. So if I am 48, my eggs are not okay, and I have the opportunity to take someone's eggs, I will gladly do it and carry the pregnancy and nurture the baby and make the children mine. It makes me a mother. But it is the decision of the couple or whoever is involved. Because Dr. Abayomi, sometimes people judge people because they are not in their shoes. Doctor, one lady, she's Ghanaian, she came to me one day and said, woman of God, can you please pray for me? Let me have a child this morning and let the child die at 6 p.m. At least people will know I had one. Imagine what our society has made out of infertility or people that have challenges. So because you got married and then you have your children, you have even done family planning, does not mean that the people that don't have that privilege or that kind of a situation, it does not mean that they are inferior. It does not mean that they are sinful. So if they have a way legally, not stealing a baby, if they have a legal way that will give them joy, wipe their tears, make them happy parents, why not? If you see the way these children are running around in the compound, we were praying this morning and my husband was still thanking God that we are able to give them lives, a great life. Then now they have weight. Now they used to be timid. Now they're fine. And I imagine how happy God is in heaven. So nobody should judge anybody because you are not in their shoes. You don't know what they are going through. They may be laughing. Their makeup may be fine, but they have pains in their hearts. And if they want surrogacy or they want to have donor eggs, why not? You are not their God. You are not their maker. Please leave them and let them enjoy their lives. And don't use religion, because religion is different from spirituality. Don't use religion. Don't say because you are a spiritual authority over them, tell them you cannot have donor eggs. Says who? Are you God? Leave them. Whatever will make them happy as a couple, as a person, I think it's fine enough. I'm sorry, doctor, but that's my opinion.
Oh, people are already on point, Pastor.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Rev Funke is making so much sense. Yeah, but somebody made a comment here that I guess it's easier to advise if you haven't been in the situation yourself. I would have loved to have people who have been there and done that on the panel. Why don't you just be patient and listen to us very well? You will know that this panel is well construed. So, great. Yeah, one thing I want you one very important thing you say is that we're judgmental. And, my background is that I'm a Baptist. And what the Baptist says is that the Bible is on the final habitat on everything religious. So the place for us to use our brain on things that does not concern religion It's so much there. But now people have become so lazy. How on earth can you give your life to one person to determine for the sake of Christ? What title does that guy have? Especially the person, just that's why I read that thing. The person has not even been through your experience in life. And he sits down and he tells you this is what you should do. I mean, I find that a little bit offensive. So, but that's my own opinion too, and I cannot lord it over anybody. So I'm glad that you told us that. Mrs. Bankole, over to you. Anything that you want to say on that? I hope the internet is the greatest challenge in our environment. Yeah, I just wish that there is something else that we can do to make it easier. Yeah, because I think she's dropped. Yes, somebody's asking if you use donor, what of DNA? Please, what we are discussing here, that will be answered later on. That is science. We'll talk about that later on. You probably send that to you. But what we are trying to talk about here, we are not going to the nitty-gritty. God bless Miss Mommy Adejumo. Wonderful. Okay. First of all, I'm happy to be in this Zoom meeting. I'm looking forward to start IVF surrogacy journey in December. And the knowledge I'm getting here is helpful. Okay, we also get to surrogacy as we go on. So I think Reverend Adejumo has told us what our stand on use of donor eggs is. The only thing that, just like she said, please, we don't want to cut corners. Anybody who is going to use donor anything, if you go to a standard IVF clinic, you have to sign consent form. Everything must be done. Look, I was just reading this morning about a 75-year-old woman that just took a doctor in the early 80s to court. Then IVF was not very popular. So what they were doing was, even in America, the first baby was 1980. So what they were doing then was more of IUI. And the doctor was using his sperm to fertilize women, of course, without their consent. But DNA now. So one of the children just bought this DNA kit and started tracing and saw that the doctor was her father. And so there is a class act now. There's so many children. And this woman at 75 has just taken this doctor to court. That's not what we're talking about. That's not the real thing. And most of the people who go through these things that are not real, they know. They are accomplices. People who go to buy babies. You are not pregnant. They say you cannot do scan. After doing treatment, you can't do scan. Nobody can see the baby. You can only deliver in my place. What kind of pregnancy is that, for the sake of Christ? We all know that is not true. So don't tell me that you don't know. So people who go through this are also accomplices. So they can't come and start shouting. And that's why rarely do they talk about it. Anyway, don't let me go. So the other thing that also people talk about is that there's this issue of when does life start? And that's where some religious, some even Christian bodies talk about that, that was before we could store embryos and eggs. They will say that IVF was committing murder because they get rid of excess embryos. But of course, that picture has changed. You can store eggs, you can store embryos. The recovery rate is 90-something% now to do that because the technology is so advanced. What is your take on excess storing? Either two things to this, either excess embryos during treatment, or even women who are not married yet, who don't have any man in the horizon, storing their eggs. So that's two questions together.
Okay, sir. I don't know why Mrs. Bankole is not here, because she has a powerful testimony about this.
Yeah, is the Internet is a
so I'm sure she'll be trying to.
Yeah, anytime we get her, I'm sure she will still. Her views are very strong on this.
Okay. As a person, sometimes I tell my children and my grandchildren that one of the regrets I have in life is I did not store my eggs because I was very fertile. I wish, because we didn't know this when we were young, don't wear earring, cover your head, and don't wear wig. That was all they taught us. I am a born Baptist, and I will be a Baptist till I see Jesus. It's married that brought me to Pentecostalism, and then I got born again. But I believe. So this is my personal view. Nobody explained it to us. I got married very early. I was 23 when I got married. I had all my kids by the time I was 30. So I still had eggs. I wish. In fact, I'm sure that some people will have loved to have my egg. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to, I will have donated. So I don't see anything wrong. And this is me as a person. I believe that life should be lived if I'm not hurting you, if it is morally okay, if it is not disturbing anybody's peace, if there is integrity in it, if I store my egg or what's the medical whatever, is it reducing food from your table? Doctor said that by the time I'm 48, I may not have viable eggs anymore, and I'm not yet married. And God gave some people wisdom to know how to help me in that area, so that when I now finally find a man that will marry me, I will not start prayer again for children. Jesus, children. Rather, I will pray, God, bless these eggs that you have given somebody wisdom. And let me say this, Doctor. The entire universe runs on laws, and laws are universal. Laws are absolute. Laws are impersonal. The law of gravity says you jump up, you come down, whether in Australia or my village. Whether you are a man or you are a woman, whether you are kind or you are whatever, you are wicked. Law is law. That is the truth. I believe as a person that if you want to, okay, so look at it. We use these laws every day, honestly. I want to go from Lagos to London. And the law of gravity says anything that goes up must come down, including an aircraft. So what do? I look for somebody or a company that understands how the law of aerodynamics works. And I go to them, British Airways, Emirates, Virgin Atlantic. Excuse me, I want to go to London. If I jump up, I will come down. How can you do this? And they tell me, bring time, bring effort, bring money, £2,000. I paid to them. I get on the plane and they take me to London. So some doctors and medical teams, they have discovered that, look, you can freeze your egg so that you will not be crying, looking for husband. You have cried. Now you want to start looking for baby. So they are applying the laws. They understand how these laws work. I don't. I trust their judgment. I go there. Ultimately, it is God that gives us children. It is God. When you take Panadol, it is God that will make it work. So it is God that will bless Dr. Abayomi's hand. Dr. Abayomi wants to take the egg. You see him praying. I've had people that God used him to help. He may not know. He prays. God, though, we don't know this. So we're not saying that we are God. We care, but ultimately it is you. Those 2 weeks of waiting, we pray and pray. So, wisdom is profitable. Just like you go to British Airways, you come to Dr. Abayomi or any facility, I want you to apply the laws and help me put this together to save me. So which one is a better miracle? You now becoming 48 or 52 and you are disturbing God. God, I need another ovary. Oh God, I need ovaries. I need eggs. And God is saying, I gave some people wisdom for you to preserve this. Just like you put your money in the bank. You see, a lot of people, I'm so sorry, we still live in the Stone Age. So why do you now use refrigerator? Why don't you continue to drink your water and put it inside on the roof of the house like my grandmother used to? So why do you now jump on the plane? Why do you use Facebook if technology is the same? Why? So why do we separate one? Okay, IVF is the same, but Zoom is not the same, Facebook is not the same, but no, it's the same. So this is my opinion. If you want to, I'm not a medical person, but I have cried with too many women in particular. The pain, the shame, the stigmatization of infertility is not what you wish for your enemy. So, and I have sponsored IVF. My foundation has sponsored. Many people, couples are thanking God for us, and that does not reduce my Christianity. See the joy on the faces of these women. See how God has used medical science to wipe their, it's sheer wickedness to stand as a pastor and say that people should not do what will give them joy.
Thank you so, but it cannot be put better. I can see, I'm going to read some, I think your internet is frozen a little bit until it comes back. I'm going to read some of the comments.
You're using his privileged position. Doesn't mean you sleeping with your husband, but at least you still sleep with your husband. So let's stop judging these people. They have enough pains, enough stigmatization. Enough, you see some women, they'll be calling them a male pawpaw. You see some, their in-laws will be saying all sorts of things. When my husband took me to his family, one man said, this one that is so thin like this, can she carry a child from morning till night? That tells you that the expectation of that man is not love, or it's not that my husband will have peace. It is child. Can this one carry child? And God disgraced him in such a way that my children are big. So we went to the village, and these children, they said, see Funke's children. The man started slapping him, said, hey, that's what God can do. So please, stay in your lane. No? If you have children, enjoy yourself. People that don't have children, let them seek for help, as long as it doesn't disturb your life. And as long as it doesn't disturb food on your table, it doesn't take your salary, they're not begging for money from you. God will find a way to help them. There's nothing wrong with them. Let them be happy.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much. Yeah, somebody said here, religion has been a big hindrance. Another message came. Okay. To couples considering IVF on surrogacy, ministers always refer to the Abraham Hagar missionary story. All right. I hear you like.
Oh, Lord. Religion is...
Another person just said, yeah, it's go on, man. Yes,
I was going to ask them that. So how many Abrahams and Sarahs do we have after that Abraham and Sarah? How many people in the Bible were 90 and 100 before they had babies? So, and do they, those pastors, do they wish to be that Abraham and that Sarah? It's a privilege to pastor people. We should stop using our positions to manipulate them. It is a great honor to pastor. And if you know that your pastor is always disturbing you, then go to another church. Or don't tell him if you want to go to. Just tell him, we thank God, sir, we are pregnant. And God blesses you. You owe nobody any explanation.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Yes, somebody said something here that he said, if I heard clearly, the eggs of a 48-year-old woman is almost equal to nothing. Doctor, please, can you tell me if a 32-year-old woman egg level will be zero as well? No, it's not. You're 32-year-old, you are peak of your fertility, so you should do what you need to do. Okay. People who have had IVF don't even come to church to say that they had it. Everyone just wants to trust God. And that's the painful part, man.
Yes, sir.
You see, some people have had IVF, even pastors, and they go to church and give testimony. God has done it too. Yeah, it's God who does any child. It's God who gives children. Yeah, the fruit of the womb is his reward. That's what the Holy Book says. So I don't understand why people are ashamed. I have some patients who, when they see me outside, they don't greet me. They say they will know that their children are IVF children.
Oh Lord.
So well, it's as ridiculous as that. Some of them are doctors. You know, so it's we need to, and that's why what I say most of the time that the moment the good people stop talking, it's only the bad people that will talk. And that's why there's quackery, there's all kinds of things going on, because people will keep quiet. People will not talk. So, yes, let's go back to, I think I'm really enjoying this. Let's talk about a little bit about surrogacy. That's also one of the things. Unfortunately, you know what I say is that it's like the issue of a knife. It's a good utensil in the kitchen, but you can use it to kill. The fact that somebody has used the knife to kill, will it mean that you will not use it in your kitchen? Some people abuse, especially surrogacy. That's why we have baby factories. That's why we have all kinds of things. And they say it's surrogacy. But we know what surrogacy is. And I keep telling people, if you go to any clinic where they want to, either they want to do surrogacy for you, you don't sign consent, the surrogate does not sign consent, run away. If you are going to use donor anything, no consent, no. Some people will even come and say they don't want their husbands to know. I tell them, go look for another place. You know, consent must be signed. Some of us, even consumers, are fraudulent. We are only looking for people, accomplices, to help us to carry out our fraudulent wants and acts. You know, so this surrogacy is so abused. And most of the time is because the people allow it also to be abused. Ma, what are your views on surrogacy?
Dr. Abayomi, I don't have anything against anything or any system that is legally done with the consent of the people involved and that is not hurting anybody. As a person, I don't. Because people go through all sorts. There are so many stories. Some it is a man that cannot have, some it is this that cannot have. And the fact that something is abused, like you said, does not mean it is not right. Everything in this world can be abused. Everything in this world. So, like Dr. Abayomi said, before you get involved in it, some people are watching us on this call now. Surrogacy means I cannot carry a baby to full term or something. So the doctor takes my egg, my husband's sperm. I think that's what it means, sir. It is my own.
Yes.
Or maybe a donor, whatever that I decide. And then you put it inside somebody. That's where consent is. And I think, sir, that little by little, awareness is increasing. People are getting to be enlightened. There was a time when they used to call some people bastards. Now the law is against it. No child is a bastard. There was a time when, you know, they didn't like adoption. Now people are coming out to say, I was adopted. One of the big actresses spoke recently, and look at her life. Amazing life. One of our adopted children, she came when she was 10 days old. Sir, she was already dying. Her God was septic. The woman that was helping me to birth her, she was spitting saliva. The baby was smelling. Today she's in part 2 in the university. And we told her, because we live in a society where they will paint it that adoption is a terrible thing. There is nothing she needs that. In fact, she's enjoying more than our biological children. So society is gradually understanding that, look, adoption, you know, because some of these adopted children are also becoming many now. Maybe one day we'll have an association of adopted children. could have said that we will be using handphone. There was a time we were queuing at Nitel. So maybe one of these days, surrogacy or whatever children will be coming out now. So it is nothing at all. Just make sure it is legal so that in 25 years' time, somebody doesn't show up to say that, okay, I want to collect my child back. Which child? Which child do you want to collect back? You know, involve your lawyer. The good fertility centers have what you will sign. And I don't believe in, yes, back now. I don't believe in, I don't want my husband to know. Are you sure you're married? I think you are, it's just a partner. This you should discuss. Don't go and carry one pregnancy and not say, because the foundation, if the foundation be destroyed, the Bible says, what can, the righteous do? So I, as a person, I may be attacked because of what I'm saying now, but it doesn't matter at all, because the people that mind don't matter, and the people that matter don't mind. So it's not their problem. That's why they can say anything. Hey, nobody should do adoption. Nobody should do surrogacy. Do you wish? Mrs. Bankole was saying that she waited for 17 years. Is that a joke? In this our culture, it's not even just African culture, doctor. It is a global issue. It's a global issue. So when they are not in the situation, that's why they'll be analyzing. The book of Genesis said, the book of Deuteronomy said, the book of, they will not be judging people. Whatever will give you joy, as long as it doesn't hurt other people and it's legal, go ahead. And don't go and look for a surrogate mother whose mouth will be running on social media. I was the one that carried their baby. I will sue you, you will go to jail. Because whatever it takes, we have signed and all that. So let's watch our doctor. It's how we come when all these things will not be anything again. Yeah. People will be proud,
Yeah. Yes, somebody said people need enlightenment. Thanks so much for this program. I wish this was televised on NTA. Thanks, Pastor Funke. Please enlighten other ministers. Yes, Mrs. Bankole is back. Yes. Mrs. Bankole, we missed you. We missed you. I know it's
yes.
Yeah. Yes, we've been waiting for your views. Yes. So we'll be talking about use of donor eggs, storing eggs, and then we went to surrogacy. So yeah, you can jump in on any of the topics and then let's have your views on this.
Okay, sir. Number one, it depends on the patient. If I'm not, I don't have any objection on any of it, because you don't, like mommy said, whatever that will give you joy. You don't want to think about what people are going through in the course of looking for children. People do adoption. So in the course of waiting, it came to a time that I wanted to do surrogacy. And I came to meet Auntie Tola. She just told me, no surrogacy, that your uterus is okay. You will carry your children. But what of if the uterus is not good? What of if there is one issue or the other? I have a sister that is close to me. One day she just called me and said, Mommy, I would have died yesterday. I said, died, okay. What happened? She wanted to commit suicide. She's a minister of God. She wanted to commit suicide, all in the name of no children. And I advised her, I said, and I said, how about IVF? She said, they've done two. How about surrogacy? She did surrogacy and she's okay and she's happy. We would have lost that sister. We would have lost her. So many people are in pain. So many people are in pain all over the world.
Mrs. Bankole,
I don't have any objection about any
so that we can hear you.
Whatever that will give you.
Maybe you should stop your video so that we can hear you.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yeah.
It's
okay.
Okay now.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay. So I don't have any objection on any of it. Adoption, surrogacy, donor storing. I don't have any objection. Do something that will, that will make you happy, and don't sin. And don't sin.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's my own view.
Don't sin. I think that's very weighty.
Yes. And
yeah. People sometimes, because they are desperate.
And don't.
Sorry, go on, ma.
Yes, I don't cover up. Yes, don't buy children. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't buy children. Don't just go somewhere and buy children and camouflage that you carry the baby. That is the sin. Why are you stressing yourself? Don't sin. In the course of waiting, don't sin. And as a Christian, I believe strongly, whatever you need to do, you need to pray. And you need to get, like a leading. The last time I came to Nordica, I said there was a day I was coming. I was in the plane. That was September 2009. And then as the plane was about moving, God spoke to me and said, Nike, go to Nordica. You will give birth there. Yes, go to Nordica, you give birth there. I still did like 5 before it clicked. After that talk, after that encounter. But I gave birth. I gave birth to 4 in Nordica. You need to be patient if you are looking for children. Don't be hypertensive because it will still come. Just be patient and be prayerful as a Christian. There's nothing you do that you don't need prayer. And get a direction of what to do. In the course of waiting, I wanted to do surrogacy because a friend of mine told me, why all this stress? Do surrogacy. I was so happy. We were planning to do it until my husband said, let us try IVF for the last time. And it clicked. And the second one, I was encouraged to do the second one. The first set of twins, they were 1 year old when I did the next one, and it clicked again. And God knows, if I was 40, 45, I would have done another one, making 6, So that's it. I don't have any objection.
Mrs. Bankole, after 4, you wanted to do another one.
Happy, but please don't sin. When I gave birth to the last set, I was 50. If I was like 40, I would have done another, so that I will have all my quiver full of them. So please don't sin. There's nothing wrong with all this. You are using Panadol. If you have any ailment, you are using medicine. It's God that has given the doctors the innovation to help families. So if you are there crying and say, I don't want to do it, I will cite an example to you, sir. When I gave birth to the first set, and people were happy with me, and I was reading their comments. You will be amazed the kind of comments that came out from people. Test tube baby. The children don't look like them. And I said, I was 49 when I gave birth to the first set. So how can you open your mouth and say this kind? That's the mentality of people we have. And test tube baby. They are test tube baby. Well, test tube baby or no test tube baby. When you are sick, you go to hospitals. So don't stress yourself. If you need help, see a doctor, see a fertility doctor fast. And if you have eggs, you want to store it. Store it, then you call for it when the time comes. So that at the end of the day, you won't just be crying. So many people are in pain. They are in pain. Don't think of anything that people are saying. Think about your whole mental health. That's what I have to say, sir.
Thank you so much. Somebody's asking you a question here. She said, how many times did you do IVF before it clicked, ma?
Yes, sir. I started doing IVF 2002. Pastor, I'll be a doctor.
Yes, ma'am.
When you are desperate to have something, you have it. I started doing IVF 2002. In 2005, it clicked, but I lost the pregnancy. So the 11th is the 12th one that I gave birth to the girls. The 13th one, I gave birth to the boys. I told myself I will give birth, that I will not give birth to one. I'll always tell people that I will have 4 children, and God stamped it. Whatever you use your mouth to talk, it will come to pass. And God has really blessed us with these children. People will come, who will encourage them, and they will give birth. So that means God was actually preparing us for other people. So I did the thing.
Yeah. I think, that's one thing that you've done very well. Encouraging people, because when we really have people who have lost hope, Mrs. Bankole is always the point of call. And you will see the change after talking to them. But 2 things you said that I want us to hold on to, which many people lack. You need to be patient and do not sin. Please do not sin. There is no point in you having these babies and then you have eternal gloom after that. You are looking at the babies, you know that you are not happy. When people are there, you pretend that you are happy, but when you are alone, you know that you are not happy. I don't think that is the way to go. After you waited for such a long time and still, these babies, when they come, they're not giving you joy because you stole them. There's no 2 ways to say it. When you buy another person's baby, you've stolen those babies. There is no 2 ways. They didn't come from, they just didn't rain. Somebody delivered them and you have bought them. And the day we started reducing human life to commodity, where else do we want to go? How low can we descend as a nation? Please. Thank you so very much. I know we can go on and on and on and on and on, but
yes,
I want Reverend Adejumo to probably give us some shots, and then probably before we close, and then Mrs. Bankole also will give us some shots so that we can. Somebody has shouted here, 13 IVF for long road. You are indeed a strong woman.
The Yoruba people will say, that means persistence.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And congratulations again, Pastor Nike. She's such an inspiration. I knew her when she was waiting. And even though she may cry in her house, you won't see it on her face. As she was waiting, she was still a blessing in various ways to people. So we thank God for you and Pastor Bankole. Dr. Abayomi, I know one woman that did IVF 14 times. Her doctor said to her, Madam, must you have a baby? But the ridicule, the stigmatization and all that was just too much. We're trusting God that our society will be enlightened and they will understand this. This will be shocking to you, sir. There's a professor in Nigeria who wanted a child, and a commercial prophet told her to climb every mountain between Ife and Elisha. And she did. Now, this one will now make you sad. This particular woman, she went to a prophet, quote and unquote, and the prophet said, go to my backyard while I'm having my bath. collect the water. She collected the water and brought it to the living room. The prophets divided the water into 3 and said, Madam, drink this one. This one, you will take it home and use it to prepare stew. And this one, I will use it to make concoction for you with prayer and candles. This is the pathetic story of what people, and I'm not telling you a fable or not African magic, true life stories. This is what people go through. And somebody stands up and tells me, don't do IVF, don't do surrogacy, don't do this. Some will carry goats on their back. The woman that was in my house, she said she carried goats, she tied it in the middle of the night because the herbalist told her, be dancing in the middle of the night. What is IVF? And there are foundations now that are helping people. Because yes, it's becoming expensive and all that, but it's worth it. So I want to encourage everyone, please don't judge people because you are not in their shoes. You don't know where it is hot. And then, please, my husband will say some people are not happy that you are happy. Look at what those people said to Mrs. Bankole. After 17 years of waiting, the woman now had a child, and you are now saying that test tube baby. Test tube baby, test tube baby. Those children are in school now. Your own that is not test tube baby. Oh Lord. So, which one self is not test tube? Is it not tube? Is it not fallopian tube that all of us have? All our children are tube now, tube children. So, don't listen to people. That's why opinion is the cheapest commodity on earth. So live your life. Be happy. Don't sin against God, like she said. Face your life. Enjoy your life. And you don't need to be telling everybody. It's not necessary. And there are some people that are in your life. You need to exit those relationships. Just leave them and go do and enjoy what God. See, somebody said I waited for 14 years. That's it. There's a permanent secretary in Abuja. She waited for 23 years. 23. Such women, you won't believe when they begin to tell stories. So, once again, sir, Dr. Abayomi and Mrs. Tola Ajayi, I want the 2 of you to know that when they call for pastors or they call for bishops or they call for ministers, you may not be in the pulpit ministry, but you are in a calling. It is a calling, it's a ministry. God has given you, your wife, and the entire team. I've been to your clinic. You didn't know like 3 times because I had to come with someone. The day you were taking the egg, I was there. The day you were, I was there with the husband, and I was just blessing you. I can say, sir and ma, that God has given you a big handkerchief to be wiping people's tears. People that are condemning IVF, they wear glasses. Oh, is it not same technology? They wear glasses. Oh, they use phone. Oh, they take Panadol, and now they are saying because they have children and they have done family planning. God has given you that big handkerchief to be wiping away tears. Whether they even greet you or not, whether they appreciate you or not, there's a God in heaven. He has called you. He will preserve the 2 of you and your children and your grandchildren. And this ministry will continue to blossom. Many people say, we are sending them, you may not know, you and the others in that Lagos. I've just been saying, look, we will be praying for you. But enough of this, I'm fasting and praying. Go and be fasting and praying while you are, because God can use either the medical or the miraculous. He is God. He can use both. And don't say because I didn't get pregnant naturally, then everything is of God. It is God that gave them that knowledge. Take advantage and stop crying. Thank you again, sir, for having me.
Thank you so very much. Yeah, somebody said Rev Funke is charging me up. So thank you so much. Yes, Mrs. Bankole, anything you want to say so that we can wrap this up? Hey, I don't think she's still there. Yeah, it's dropped. Yes, I saw so many things about is expensive, is what. Well, I'm not going to say so much about that being expensive, because, you know, what I tell people most of the time is that if you want, what we try to do is that we want to give you the same quality as you get in Europe. Now, we don't manufacture anything, so we have to bring everything in. Now, the cost of replacement of my drugs, because of any time there is a devaluation, we are in trouble. From last year till now, what percentage of devaluation has Naira had? Have we been able to double what we are charging for IVF? So when people talk about price, I just nod my head and I say, okay, fine. You just don't even know what we're going through. I want to pay $50,000 to somebody who is supplying me, and the banks are saying you can only transfer 5,000 per month. You don't know all this. So it's a lot of, so I tell people, be careful what you pray for. If you want the level of Nigeria service, and then you get your results, you have to do 10 to get 1, then you can do that. I'm sorry, but we try to make it such that you can get the same quality of what you can get either in the UK or in Europe. So but it's not particularly profitable to us. Like, for example, I tell people, in my 4 clinics, I have 13 generators. I've just bought the 14th generator now. Diesel alone is one thing. Just calculate. Because we have, apart from generator, we everything, transformer, every clinic has a transformer, because NEPA can do the ultimate to you if you are not careful. Apart from, we now have the one that uses battery. So it's expensive running this service. It's not, you can't come in and we say there is no power. It's not possible. It can't happen, because that means all the things that we kept, they're going to die. So it's really very challenging, but we continue to do the best that we can do, and God will help all of us. I wish we can do it free, but it's just not realistic for now. So it's on this point I will say thank you so very much. I've been very blessed. Yes, I also have learned a few things that I'm going to use. The entire universe runs on laws, yes. And so it's wonderful. Thank you so very much. And Mrs. Bankole, as usual, you are a blessing, and you continue to be a blessing. Mrs. Adejumo, we definitely call on you again. I love your spirit. I love how you do things. And yeah, God will continue to bless you and your husband and your ministry and your entire family. Thank you so very much.
Amen. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Greetings to mommy. Thank you, sir.
I will.
Bye.
So see you. Thank you for taking time to join us.